up with something like this every week. Just a quick 10-minute thing at the end for us to kind of finish on. And today we're doing start, bench, sell, and we need your guys' comments, getting involved with this. We're going to obviously have 3 different players. How many of these have we got, mate? Is it about 5 of them?
I think there's only 5 yet. And I do apologize for the graphics. I did it at like 11:30 at night. I was so tired. It's just start, bench, sell. I'll try and improve that. However, this is also going to be another clip that we release midweek this week. So you guys that are watching now, you get to see it in real time.
Yeah.
And if you're watching this maybe on Monday or Wednesday or maybe in 5 years when we've got 1 million subs and you're thinking, damn, I keep missing their lives. Every Sunday, 12 p.m. UK time. Make sure that you're here. Right, I devise these for you. Now, you don't know what's coming up, so it's going to be your initial reaction. You don't know who I've got on here. So, the first one is Noosh. We're going to get them out the way. Some people thinking, why Emi Martinez? I think he's still underrated. When he's not trying to shag a Golden Glove trophy in front of the world, he's a brilliant keeper. When he's not hip thrusting in one of the most religious countries in the world, he's a good goalkeeper. He's a brilliant goalkeeper. I think they're the best 3 keepers in the league. Start, bench, sell.
I mean, mate, to be fair, everything you've said about Martinez is correct, but I'm selling Martinez.
Is it his age? Or is it just a quality?
No, I just think the other 2 are better. I think, don't get me wrong, very good keeper, but I think the other 2 to the right of him are just they're a league above what we've got in the Premier League, in my opinion. Ederson versus Alisson, mate, is always it's a hard one for me. It depends on the style of play, and I've said this before. I feel like Alisson suits Liverpool better, and Ederson suits City better, and I just kind of feel for me that it depends what kind of team that you've got. So it becomes quite hard. And obviously, I don't know with this one. I
thought this was going to be one of the easy ones, especially for starting.
I'm going to start Alisson and I'm going to bench Ederson.
Yeah.
What did Brazil do out of interest? Do they start Alisson, bench Ederson?
They play Alisson. Yeah, they do play Alisson. I mean, to have those 2 as your and Brazil aren't known for their goalkeepers. Over the years, the likes of Dida and whoever else, like they're not known for them, but they've smashed in this generation. They've smashed it. Let's move on to the next one, and it's going to be 3 attacking players in the Premier League, and we've got Odegaard. I mean, considering after what happened yesterday, was it 2 assists and 1 goal, or 2 goals and 1 assist?
Yeah,
it was 2 assists and a goal, wasn't it?
He's finding his form again because it did drop slightly, obviously, when Arsenal went through that bad run, but he's coming back. Bruno Fernandes is a hard one for me, mate, because I have to stop try and not think about the fact that I just don't like him as a player.
That's the thing, isn't it? I think if Bruno is in that Spurs and Arsenal team, he's getting 15 goals, 10 assists. Let's be honest, he is, isn't he? He's a very good player.
He's a moaner, though,
every fan base hates him, don't they? That's the thing.
Yeah.
But you can't doubt his quality. You just can't. He's won them so many points this season, considering the volley against Burnley comes straight to my head. I think it was 1-0 away, scores an unbelievable volley, gets them the win. And James Maddison had his injuries, but unreal before his injuries. Where you going? Start, bench, sell. Well, this is biased because you're an Arsenal fan. So,
I mean, I'm not an Arsenal fan, but I am going to. Do you know what? I'm going to sell Fernandes just because I just think the other 2 will be better to have around the dressing room. I'm going to go with that kind of get out kind of thing. I'm going to say he's not a good character, and he probably is, to be fair. But I just can't stand him as a person. He's a moaner anytime I watch him. But Bruno, I suppose Carl has the point that he is a captain for United. I just don't like him as a person when I watch him, though. That's the problem. And I'm then going to bench Maddison and I'm going to start Odegaard. That's how I'd go.
It's a tough one, but fair enough. Let's move on to.
We need to at least hear what you would do.
I want to stay. I want to try and stay impartial. I want to try and make this about. I would have gone. I probably would have gone start Odegaard. I'd have benched Bruno and I'd have sold Maddison, I think, because Bruno Fernandes has never been injured or something crazy. He's never missed a
Yeah,
game through
I just
injury.
don't like him as
Um,
a person. I'm sorry.
no, I know, but I can't have Madison missing 15 games a season constantly. I just can't have it. I would put my hate aside. I'd start Odegaard and I'd bench Bruno. That's mine. Let's try and move away from the top six. So I've tried to get three
Oh,
players that have had, now obviously Tony's missed a lot of the season, but we know what he's done in previous seasons. He's come back and already getting goals. So scored a free kick on his return, scored against Wolves last week. Isaac a little bit hit and miss here and there, but we know he's so good. And Huang, I mean, is it 9 Premier League goals? No, 10 Premier League goals and 3 assists this season. So could have had a hat trick yesterday saying that, but anyway. This is tough. Now, we should caveat if you are watching this and don't know, we are Wolves fans. So this is going to be a little bit. Where are you going to go, head or heart?
it's not hard, mate. Wolves fan bias aside, I'm selling Huang. And that's quite an
You
easy
just
decision.
know.
It's quite an easy
Got,
decision, mate. It really is. And in all honesty, Huang, he does get injured from time to time. He's had quite a few hamstring injuries. Yeah, I'm selling Huang, to be honest. Obviously, Carl, as we know, another Wolves fan, he's gonna sell Tony. Mate, Isaac, am I right in saying he's had quite a few injuries? He's currently injured at the moment, isn't he? But again, I
but
don't
his
know if he's a
talent
little
is
bit.
unreal. This
And
is
Nick,
not
as
easy,
a
this one.
Forest fan, Nick's saying he'd sell Isaac, bench Huang, no, start Isaac, imagine, bench Huang and sell Tony.
I think because Huang is he's so like
Tony's
you
one
can
of them,
play him
though, when
across.
I'm thinking about it, mate. I can see why people are saying sell Tony because the disrespect that he's shown Brentford throughout his time there. I mean, and even now, the bloke's come back, scored a couple of goals, and he's already jokingly talking about where he's going. Maybe I would sell
I
him just because for a similar reason. Maybe if I'm not a manager of a not top club, he's maybe not going to be the best person to have around the dressing room, which then makes it quite easy. I'm benching Huang and I'm starting Isaac 100%.
Huang can play across the front three. He's a good utility player. He'll give you a good 6, 7 out of 10 on the left, the right, or down the middle. That I'm
This is only
thinking
what you need as a
start.
bench player, don't you? You need a bench player that can do different roles.
And I also think because of Tony's English tax, I think you could get 70 million for him, 80 million,
Ooh.
90 million. You're not going to get more than 25 mil for Huang, 30 mil. As much as I love him, so I'd bench him. He's an unbelievable bench player.
I like that as well. Thinking you're thinking as a proper manager, I could sell Tony, and where can I put that money into the rest of the squad?
Yeah, you gotta. Hey, up here for thinking, down there for dancing. It's not. Listen, what can I say?
Right, what have I got another one? How many more we got? Was that is this the last one?
Ooh, this is a big one. Now, this is going to test your Arsenal bias. This really is going to test your Arsenal bias. This is one of the hardest you can do in football. Forget the position.
This for me, mate, is the easiest one out
Can
of
I
three.
can I say what I think you're going to do?
Go on.
I hope you're going to do this. I think you start Salah, bench Saka, and sell Foden.
I mean, look, it's interesting. I
Scott, no, if you tell me you're going to start Saka and bench Salah, I'm off. I won't finish the video.
mate,
I won't.
you're
I
gonna
won't
be off
finish the
even
video.
more then.
You're selling Salah and benching Foden.
Salah is 31 years old now. I'm selling him. No, leave me out. I'm going to sell Salah to Saudi Arabia. I'm going to take the 120 million. I'm then going to stick Phil Foden on the bench, and I'm going to start Saka. I think that's the only three. Foden and Saka are still very young. You're going to get another 10 years out of these guys, if not more. Salah's coming towards the end of his career. Saudi Arabia are interested in him. I'm taking the 120 mil. Then benching Foden and starting Saka. Mate, this has been the easiest one of the video, and
Scott,
I don't think there's any other option.
guys, please absolutely hammer this guy in the comments. I'm begging you, please. Like, I'm begging you, When you say he's 31, Scott, This isn't 1995. Players aren't done at 30.
But this is why you'd be
He,
a
have
rubbish.
you,
You'd be a rubbish director of football then.
hold on. On the last one, you said, "Oh yeah, you're thinking outside the box. You're thinking about
Yeah,
this
I'm
and
changing my
money."
mind. You're an awful director of football. The fact that
So hold on.
you've got Saudis
Ah.
knocking on the door. They're knocking on the door of a 31-year-old player, and already got Saka and Foden to choose from, and you're gonna keep that 31-year-old and not take the 120 million that Saudi Arabia are offering.
Have you seen this guy? Have you seen Salah's physique? He can play for another 5 years at the top level. The top level.
But
Scott,
Salah's at his
he
ceiling.
doesn't he
I
doesn't
don't think.
drink.
Yeah,
He's
but the
Muslim.
people the other side of
You've got
him
to know.
aren't
You've
even
got
at
to
their
think about
ceilings yet, and they're continuing to
you.
get better and better and better.
Why can't Salah get better?
He's not
Salah
getting.
can't get better.
He's not getting better. He's past his prime,
I don't know.
or he's at his
I,
prime.
I,
I think it's fair to say he's at his prime. Actually, he's not past it, but he's at his prime.
I think when you're doing a start bench sell, I think you have to think more than one season, but you can't think about 10 because you've got so many different things, injuries and stuff like that. I think you look at this, a start bench sell, I think you look at 3 to 5 years because that's normally what players tend to do now. It's three to
Well, I
five
don't want
years at top
Salah at
clubs.
34. I'm sitting there. So you're telling me Salah at 34 years old, someone might offer 20 mil for him, or he might just go on a free. You're not just going to sit there and go, "Oh, stupid not to take that 120 million."
That money for Salah is going nowhere because he's the biggest Muslim player on the planet. At 37, Saudi will pay 100 million for him because it's the brand in Saudi Arabia. It's the brand in the Middle East. They'll pay that. This is what I mean. You're not on my level up here. You don't think like I think. Salah is the best winger in the league. That's it.
I
He is.
disagree.
He's just, oh, Scott, there's no metric to disagree on. There's literally no metric.
Mate, regardless of age, even if all three of these were the same age, I'm still starting Saka.
Ah, fuck! I can't do this channel with you anymore. I can't. Did you just say no matter the age, you choose Saka over Salah?
Yeah.
This channel is so rubbish. We had 24 people watching us. You've given that take and 6 have left.
But what's Saka's
This is
what's Saka's weakness?
he has 0 right foot. And I'm not saying Salah has one. I'm just saying Saka has no right foot. He doesn't.
He doesn't need
He's
it.
also a bit prone to bottling penalties. Euros, West Ham costing the league. I'm just saying. You asked me, and I love Saka. I think Saka's incredible. I take Saka over Foden, but you've asked me to name some
You didn't
weaknesses.
say that a couple of years ago. You said I was a moron for thinking that Saka would end up a better player than Foden.
No. I never killed you for that. It's just that, like 3 years ago, you were saying Saka was already better than Foden, and he wasn't at that stage. Now
He
it's
was.
a very good debate. He was not better than Foden. Okay, so what's your order so we can move on because this is criminal.
I'm selling Salah. I'm taking the 120 mil. I'm keeping Foden on the bench where he belongs, and then I'm starting Saka.
And we've just witnessed the death of Sweet and Sour Soccer live. Okay, last but not least, I don't even want to do this anymore. But I thought I would mix it up a little bit. I think this is pretty good. I've not seen anyone else do this on YouTube. I think this is a pretty good one. So, the Invincibles, the treble winners of Man City, or the treble winners of United. Now, we have to remember, guys, if you're watching at home, he's just said he would take Saka over Salah no matter the age Salah is. So you have to think about this when you get into the mind of Scott. If Arsenal are involved, that's the answer. But let's see how you go now. Is a team that drew 12 games better than 2 treble winning seasons? Let's
I
hear you
mean,
talk about this.
I mean, you
Hold
have
on.
to state the obvious in this
Oh,
conversation, but the Arsenal Invincibles
oh.
did. The Arsenal Invincibles did not get beat. The other two did get beat.
Oh God! This
No,
channel is so dead.
honestly, in all seriousness, I'm selling the Arsenal Invincibles, and then it
Wow.
gets a
Now
bit harder. But I think I'm taking the treble winning United team over the City team.
What Why? What's the difference maker for you? Because it's literally the same 3 trophies. So now we're talking about like context and nuance and who, because we didn't watch that 99 team, did we?
No, I would have
We're
been
watching
fine.
documentaries and that's the thing. So we're basing it on the players that we see now and well, like the Nevilles and the Beckhams and all these players, clips and documentaries. It's folklore, isn't it, for us? But we saw the treble City.
I just think football was better
City.
than back in the day then as well. You'd wonder if these two came up against each other. I think that Man United treble winning team would just bully the Man City team on a physicality basis as well.
Wow. You have to say as well.
The,
I
the
don't
Man
know.
City, the Man City treble team would spend half the game rolling around on the pitch because they'd just be getting crunched the whole game. And
If it's one of those things where if Man United treble winners play City today in this game with the sports science and how much they run, City
that
would
is
probably
true
walk
as
all
well.
over them. And in the 99, with the physicality, maybe the United team wins it. But you can't compare eras. You just can't do it. But what I would say is this: I'm not perfect on the United running for their Champions League win. They had Barcelona and Bayern Munich in their group. And this is a Barcelona team that I think had R9, if I'm not mistaken. So their group stages had Barcelona and Bayern Munich. They beat Juventus in the semi-final, was it? And then Bayern Munich in the final.
Back then were like all
That's
absolutely huge teams as well. Probably, I
massive.
mean, of course, they're still
I,
huge teams now, but even probably bigger. The Italians, especially back then, were a lot
don't
more
get me
dominant.
wrong. Man City beat Real Madrid in the I think it was the semis last season, wasn't it? Yeah, but it wasn't the same Real Madrid team from the years before, or maybe even the team now. Inter Milan in the final. I mean, they're running. I can't remember Man City's running, but they probably played Copenhagen, Benfica, Ajax. I can't do you know what I mean? It's
I
What's
mean,
your
this
order?
is an interesting one then because it's a good point made. Maybe if when we do another episode of this, maybe we'll have to throw some other ones in, like maybe we throw in a Barca, or we could throw in a Guardiola's Barca or something, and we'll.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So what's your order? What's your order?
I'm sticking with what I said. I'm starting the Fergie's treble winning. I'm benching City's treble winning, and even though they went unbeaten, they never lost a game. Let's just say that. We'll forget about the 12 draws. I'm sadly having to sell
That's
the Arsenal Invincibles.
You would rather another man lie in bed with your missus than put Arsenal at the bottom of anything. What you've just witnessed, guys, a part of Scott has just died on this video because you've had to put Wenger, Henry, Vieira, is that Robert Pires, Freddie Ljungberg, Dennis Bergkamp,
I love
and
that
you're
team as well.
selling.
I mean, Henry's still my favourite player of all time, despite being a Wolves fan.
Unreal. Yeah.
Right.